baby a ye woni ye sika sem baby e woni na say na ye pese ye eno nti ye pese wo hwe na wo aye ana omo to be hwe omo hwe na say dia odi tu omo ni na say eye a na fe omo be ji ato be omo ji tu wo ya na ko ma hwe nyama e wo say wo ye ni nyama e say wo ye ansa na ya pa ho kwan but enye direct say kokwa na e di sika na ma.
Okay, now one susu no sha dent porting and ama government call for IMF bailout.
Well, it is simple. The entire Ghana call for IMF bailout means what called macroeconomic indicators of the economy, it has gotten to a high risk level. A high risk level which is yes, sikasem piano and person I was say econo that is the simple thing. The entire Ghana acquire a say Ghana nyamwa, that is just the simple thing. Say yankata sika eba or minimum and anyama pesa yedi sika no yeno ya hu on the end to me nti acquire ba say yenko na yenko any am a people doing for more na omo beboaye for some time for him that yankasa ya bet me gina ya nine. So that is the simple reason why we are going to America, because sika semono apart enye.
Now, baby, now so I can say due to our indiscipline when it comes to expenditure as a country, we are spending more than what we are earning as a country, and baby, now so can say economic mismanagement. So I also say due to COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, Indra, information minister, so say the fact that they are going to the IMF doesn't mean say Oma manage economy badly. Do you agree with these assertions?
You know, this is a simple, a basic mathematics. Say uko ubiho say omboa what kasemwa. It is a usikasemono akopom. It is a basic logic. Say wako ubiho na ukakete omboa what kasem was kasemu ana omboa was kasem. It is a usikasemono ewofo. Na nukure say ampa ye expenditure as a country a does on chain ye revenue and income ye generate. And so the government or the flagship programs especially pre-senior high school. Policy way even though it's good no. Say check that any revenue stream of income that is allocated to it. And don't say a man is draining economy because idea says it is not a commercial policy to meet generating income. The student they go to school for free. They don't pay fees. So income doesn't come. In the I was say sika ebe free baby bano. I was say yes sika to say excess money we can use it to fund it, but we don't have any excess money anywhere. And no thing but so these are some of the things that everyone say yes sika semono akwa because they are not generating enough revenue as a country. It is so because we are not managing, the economy is not being managed well. That will be the politicians' language. But I would say that we have been spending more than we earn. And that is basically what it has. So what we should have done is to live within our means. Then, IMF say, no, we could have done. Now they will force us to do it. That is what it means. IMF needs to say, now, so they will tell you what to do. So, that is how it is. Then they say, everyone say, who driving PA? Now, Oko be changed on wow, that was the Casem. Obeka to say, Seme Bow, the Asana Beya, Ube to me, you took steady, you know, packing Viet, no, not Rocho. And some of this canny Bemau. Simple analogy, this is our party Viet now, Rocho, the Bemau, no, the third case is here, one man who expenses Abapo. So this is just a basic analysis to tell you what is at stake for us as a country, why we are going to IMF. But it is a fact that because of the way the politics has been in this country, where in the past politicians have said that we will never go to IMF. It is those who went to IMF have been reckless, have been incompetent. Today, the reality has hit us. It is said, you are going to IMF not because you have been incompetent, but it's because of Russia, Ukraine, and not because of COVID. Then it means that there are circumstances that will force you to go to IMF. That will not be your own doing. So when you were telling people that Ghana went to IMF because we were incompetent, when you know that there are factors that can push you to go to IMF, that will not be due to your own issues. Then today, how do you want the people to believe you? These are some of the basic things that politicians, we must know that the people have become more discerning. So when we come and we are talking, we should understand. And I'm hoping that we'll be very, very transparent with the people to say that, oh, we have said it, but because of ABC, we are sorry.
Sure.
Now this is where we have to go. These are some of the issues. Yeah.
Okay. Now, maybe say, going to the IMF, no, they will force us to do certain things that ordinarily we were not going to do because some of them manage economy, no, and yeah, Obika say IMF they ban fiscal discipline. They don't joke with it at all. They will make sure that the money that they are giving to you, know, it is going to be used judiciously. Now, using the money judiciously, let's just say some of government policies are going to be affected. Do we foresee something like the free SHS law being affected? Because Akwaya said we are pumping more money into that sector and it's not making any headway.
Well, indeed, like I said, you see, going to IMF is not the solution to the problem we currently face as a country. But we found ourselves in a situation where we have no option. Because what the IMF is going to tell us to do, not that we don't know. Assuming you go to IMF and IMF says that reduce or restructure your free SHS policy. This is something we know already. That SHS, no, describe the prayer. Into say people can say, okay, then the young say, those who are capable of paying their own fees, should we allow them to pay? If you go to IMF and IMF tells you this, you already know it. When you go to IMF and IMF tells you that you are borrowing too much, so reduce your borrowing and now focus your borrowing on certain priority areas. These are things we know already. So there is nothing IMF is going to tell us that we don't know. Just that, you know, the thinking that, oh, when an external person is telling you something, then you understand, you agree to do it. Because now you say you don't have money. They are come to support. So whatever they will tell you, you have to satisfy the condition in order to receive the support. In the accord there, IMF, we are going to put our hands in their mouth. Whatever they tell us to do, we must be forced to do it in order to receive the bailout that we have to. So indeed, they will definitely ask government to revise some of their policies. And that is the fear of some of the labor organizations because one, they may be freezed on employment. But what they'll do is that they will let you reduce your expenditure. So that when they give you the money, you now focus on areas that will bring value. And that is the fear. So certainly there are some of the policies that will be reviewed. But for free SHS, you know, it is a flagship program that has come to help a lot of people. Honestly, it has come to help a lot. People are now in school and it is a plus. Just that government over the years, we have very good policies, but we have implementation problem. We have very good policies as government, but we don't know how to implement the policies. So we will state the thing so nicely, but when it comes to implementation, we fail. So it's like we'll come and say it and then we'll go back and sleep. Then we'll say, let's do it anyhow. And that is where we find ourselves now.
Okay. Mr. Tako, I didn't come to know ABC, but before Obercon, maybe say, how is this IMF going to play out for us as a country?
Okay, one, it is going to bring confidence into the economy by the foreign investors. So say, one of the areas where government gets revenue is on the international bond market, where they go to borrow. From the beginning of this year, for some time now, government has not been able to go to the Euro bond market. Why? because the investors don't have confidence in the economy because of international rating agency are rating Ghana with negative outlook, and that investor listens or they trust those rating agencies more than yourself. So what they tell them is what they do. So one of the advantages we bring to us as a country is that, one, it will instill confidence in the economy by these foreign investors to say that now Ghana is being watched or is being supervised by an international agency that will ensure that if they say they are reducing or cutting expenditure, indeed they are going to do it because now somebody is watching them that they themselves don't have control. So it will bring confidence into the economy, and that is all that the economy needs now. That's what Ghana needs now. We need confidence that will let the foreign investors invest more in the economy, and that is what will bring to us. It will keep us to be very disciplined, even though we know it already. What we have to do to be disciplined, we know it. But because we are managing our own affairs, we seem not to care. But now somebody else is coming to tell us what we should do. And I think that is what we are good at as a nation. When somebody is standing on us and directing us as to what to do, then we do it well. But when we are left to do it on our own, we don't listen to the same thing that we are being told ourselves. But when an external person tells us, then we agree. So they will now understand that, okay, now somebody else is watching us. And that is what we gain as a nation.
Okay, Mr. Tepe, you better say when you train and come on and anope yes, I'm a phobia on this issue as time goes on.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and Mr. Peter Tepe and Yenen Kasai or your financial and policy analyst energy and come Clement.
Again, we're making points in our clear. Or making points in our clear. So these are some of the education I think. Whether you belong to NPP or NDC, these are the things you have to know. And then when you get to understand these things, you get to know, you'll be balanced. So the I won't say in favor of this government or that particular government. But where issues no kind of they are very true. I'm going to IMF, you know, it's not like, oh, that's sorry, and then you think me watch them into me call IMF. They also have some things they look at before someone say yes, we need to grant you the bailout, we need to give you some monies or say access to and see the way forward. Because the last time I said here, said for a country to go to IMF, you know, it means a country with a problem with payments of whatever it is, allowances, payment of salaries, whatever payment or payment problems, and then also. I say, make mention of a natural disaster where ABA or na issue and I say BBSC unexpectedly. They are disasters and I say they are things and yet or minor fault. In that case, if you go to IMF for help, they will hear you out. Okay. And then also you're talking about crisis or minor efficiency and then management. If indeed there are some countries in the world that they also lack natural resources, be it say Kosovo, money ade. That is one of the main reasons in Kosovo crown then IMF. So all these three factors, when countries are in crisis and has a problem with payment and natural disasters, it may push you Marco IMF. But then how many times? Yeah, over 17 times. So now, this is the 17th time we are going here. Sure. Over the years, onward grounds and yes, of course. There have been crises all over and about between. But over these particular instances now, we have received some money, sir. If anchor judiciously and answer wisely, and you should say scanning and anchor, there is no need going to IMF. So these are one of the things that a bit to me, I might have fallen short because you're quite babies, I say, over the years, even post-COVID and I say during COVID, over the years, the kind of figures about bunting, kind of scab abemu. Bosia, ni loans, munjiwe, you are going to explain all these monies to IMF because we shouldn't forget that IMF is having a boss in the name of Kristalina Georgieva, or a whole economist, a Bulgarian economist. Oba was also serving as one of the advisory members, board members are to Federal Reserve Bank of America for Osanso Kahubi. So we are kind of managing the economy and understanding how monies are being used, how systems are being run. What you see. So one, you can see the befa a banking sector and how I spend the Sika. He's there because she's there because she's an advisor. You can see the befa economy in so she's there because she's an economist. Oshe a advice a G times so or American Indian American economist. So these are people, learned people, or who lead this whole IMF. You can't just go to them and present anything nonsense to them. Say they should give you money. You have to explain your instances and then make accounts to them. Which of course, government should make account. Government should make account. About any meaningful and proper account to be account to be from. Abang your account to be a man Ghana for a Yansa woman, as I talk Ghana for 3. And one say you buy a for your account, look at what or Bebo Bosso. Sa near Johnny to Musa near to us and echo. But going to IMF is a whole war. It's a whole war because already we've received 1 billion Ghana, $1 billion US from the IMF after COVID. It's not within COVID, although COVID is still there. But I can't post COVID that we say COVID this season now huge now. Come to see call lockdown when those seasons were over. Though COVID and that's all, but when those seasons were over, and then post COVID and after COVID, you know $1 billion US. Yet Kroma say $1 billion US at the end of the year Kroma. So these are all things I quite explain. Apart from World Bank and so much ISCA. They are all things I say IMF going to call them out on our account IMF. The moment we IMF you are going to account to them everything about your economy, how I spend this guy.
My main phone call the last time I call IMF, what really happened? The last time I call IMF, government of Ghana in early 2015, somewhere April, they call IMF for $918 million loan, $918 million loan to help stabilize the economy. Now the program was 20. We share on screen so press release a year. IMF release year April 3rd, 2015. And the entire under the then administration under John Dramani Mahama call IMF and say now on per se almost debt sustainability they wanted to restore it and then the macroeconomic stability and we be now Mr. Tekpeka say macro economic economy is not stable.
Sure. Say no ni na IMF for Kabum a friend of crisis to come to. So these are all the factors.
Initially that program it was a 3-year facility program. Now it was supposed to end in 2018. But MPP about power 2017 almost requested say though said the IMF program was ending in 2018, it should be extended for another year. Inti, almost call for another year, so it ended in 2019. And now almost call kenkey party. The day that we left the IMF program, almost call kenkey party. They say, and then they told Ghanaians say, almost call NDC for the almost call IMF, and and I
MPP aba
and I MPP aba na yen di mo fi IMF and omo de call kenkey party. But you see one thing that this government fails to always understand when it comes to IMF, say IMF don't joke with data and figures.
There be IMF World Bank.
IMF catch IMF statement to release and say this government requested for another year in IMF which ended in 2019 and on omo de be kenkey party omo ka say Finance Minister, yet Kenoforiata, and Akuyigan fee IMF.
Kenoforiata is somebody, he has no shame. He has no respect for the country. And Ganyasa, as we sit here, so he's no more there. So Osha in a real time, the MPP started managing Ghana's economy in 2019. Because for 2015, Babasi 2019, somewhere 2019, it was the IMF who were managing our economy for us. It's in real time. So MPP started managing the economy 2 years into office. Now, in 2020, they requested rapid credit facility disbursement to help fight the
virus, and now we can which the IMF granted
1 billion.
1 billion. Don't you think, say?
And now COVID and it's a COVID in who, but COVID in the Ghana and the COVID.
So they requested for $1 billion.
$1 billion US.
And now then the MDC administration of 918 million. So why should we go back to the IMF again?
Now when him say no crown Africa, you can few countries in the scanning here because Saturn overall Sikana Omuchato for COVID no. In the world, in IMF share, and I 660 billion, and we 33.7 billion at about Africa. Africa countries in Ghana and Kenya 1 billion. How many Africa countries do we have? Ghana and Kenya 1 billion. Look at that is why Tembia America says COVID not a scam. It was an avenue government used to make money because day in and day out, per how an IMF were a distributed scam. It was believed to say more now winya rate and I say rate of infections not deaths and not the country is at stake, not the crisis and
Sure.
It is that time no move some pumping more scale and anything on my 1 billion US dollars. And can you look at the number of African countries and can deserve 1 billion US dollars. Say na Kenya funya. But in any case, it was less than that.
But government's main reason to the IMF say because of Russia-Ukraine war and then COVID-19. I mean, they have used this as and let's say Osha in Kofua and then government communication war, and then they are going all out. We present a list of.
Nani in our crowd before some of it. Again, I am throw. Yanti Kruma finance minister be catch and say we try Ghana for to say World Bank MI 100 million US. Whereas here Johanna Frank Laporte be catch and say they are giving us over 4 billion within the space of 5 years. As at that time I can for that be try and throw say 100 million US dollars and a de my no satam krano near my 430 yes am my 130 cm fanto vaccines. Into your money is over 500.
Me producer we are breaking we be a fee a year information ministry says and IMF no corner year corner roll out a year a whole number of ministers to go and defend why we are going to the IMF now Osha and then Monday these are the ministers that are going to a year most of our TV platforms to have a discussion on the IMF.
And mistake they shouldn't forget those two women leading the IMF. When it comes to management of economy, they are more intelligent than Bagumia.
I'm telling you.
You can't go and present any meaningless thing to them.
Maybe I will share TV station, I say, oh share radio station, radio station, who say Minister see what not just say
yati omogum so omunko twantro
nti ene Monday say you were honorable Kojo Okonkro information minister himself on call okay mami fa stations
them say there is nothing we move can see etie Ghana for him now any open information about Ghana IMF I go to IMF site so you can you can't just go and laugh.
It's a screen so and minister sir Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Duty roster. Monday in the
point is say I mean your name is Atekpe Kasa Mr. Atekpe made this simple say uko bin chain eko bisa ni sika just say usika se mu here be. Enkoyi. It's simple as that.
Just a
so you don't no amount of and or can be gradually people are agreeing with me on every day okay say the ordinary Ghanaian is becoming discerning every day. Or Tinyamase.
IMF education. I'm telling you, some of us, before you send your people to go and lie, the necessary education, you ain't come free. Will be as it is. Now one in my IMF.
Yes, Sunday movement for responsible and accountable governance for Kasa. But producer, videos not ready. You can share a year. Michael Ochri Befi, a year MP for New Jabin, all about 11. The India no say 11 no abai. Michael Befi, Ochri Befi, so I am Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry.
Video we are about boy no. Sign on some can Emma Abana on popular.
That is
because now a month with you almost this ain't a week.
Videos in the door, so videos in the door. Some your car say only only a fool, any person who goes
also kwasia na de wa bodam and ebe kwa
and we akonya video ni finally e go do her on chance okay police ye ko video dem
ra asemu
aponi na to for my mesuni na ye so ni na say ade wa kuzo awa ye anka ne say ya twa yi lebi no ni e ko World Bank and I say e ko IMF si e ko ko jebosia inya ko e na o meka kire na adanko akufo ado say free senior high school non culture otamwa munyina mo manum ama wie school o mo ko school o mo nya school go sanse we na mo ti yak school akọ me se mo busuafo me member of parliament me ni NDC for the parliament there be aya mo hetu mo ho parliament mo NDC for se NDC for no NDC for no any MPP for no omo parliament no ye nyina ye gitum NDC for no agya tum se yi levi ni ye da bi omo ka tere se ye nyire ho ni push ya ni pass yi levi no ni e pass ya be boy na mom omo de omo ntibi ma be ka tere o man say omo nyintu say omo be ka tere o man no mo ba mo so bo ko to omo nya anunti NDC for no crash ya say ene bia isi en ka tere na mo so bo na mom omo ntibi me ka tere mo aponte ye ni omo na ti o yeah, your parliament will start. If you are only a number, and the Muslim, me and you too, and Tia Namoina.
Okay, let's see where Michael Ochi Befi now or address a year traders or Kofodia market and I'm or can't say you know. So clearly, not. He is part of government. I mean, he's in one of the sensitive ministries. Bano trade and industry. Why deputy? Now, all can say the reason why they don't want to go to the IMF and they say, and it's somebody e-levy bano. So Obia supporting e-levy. No, clearly, government is saying say we are going back to the IMF, which is that e-levy has
e-levy na abanya anwene.
So no, clearly. But as some more kind of Emma Yamushem Kakane said, now you see, he took advantage of the illiteracy of the people there. And Okacho say, Umoko IMF, you better free SHS. Already free SHS no. Mr. Tekpa say government didn't think through it very well. And I mean, Macau show I said there are a lot of government programs. There are a lot of programs that are buying it didn't go.
Simple. You levy the Amaya Hunyansa, Amaya Anwene.
Now, Uti a whole minister and an MPR. I mean, how do you feel?
The men in quotes are rather robbing the people, thinking that they are more intelligent, but they are not. You see, it is high time we tell people the truth.
Sure.
You won't conform you society, the MPs, the ministers, the commentators. They think the spokespersons and all that. When they say them, I'm from say those communicators, I call them commentators because they only shout and then nothing comes out from it. Moke kake can same ways. So now does it mean say, CCNA NPP person or IMF no? Does it mean free education about between? Does it mean say CCNA NPP person or IMF no? Does it mean omo emu omani? Does it mean omo di omani sika? Does it mean omunim the way you make good use of resources and I say the money is like omani one? These are questions we have to be asking them.
Okay.
And clearly it shows whatever they said earlier on, and now bounce back to
okay. Yankosha John Bwedu, General Secretary of the MPP, the Okafa IMFO in some few months ago.
IMF from engineers are buying taking decision IMF based on just some of these reasons because IMF and for the Christmas a hono ukoji sika a conditions home sika no so yan fan chel ubechiaka IMF from engineers are buying taking decision IMF based on just some of these reasons because IMF and for the Christmas a hono ukoji sika a conditions home sika no so yan fan chel.
Okay, it's John Bodu.
You say, CCNA NPP call IMF no. adane IMF adane for the Christmas ana ye mi say omo nyansasem ye mi say omo nyansasem because oma be kikansem hunu bibiri a che Ghana for oma be kikansem bia it doesn't make sense at all, meaningless. Now see NPP be call IMF no, is he telling us say IMF adane for the Christmas? Is he telling us say I call IMF enye obosia biem? Is he telling us I call IMF say scan ye ntuana? These are questions. So we say abaye de botechi no ye de boba eyeye ye mbisa wo. Na omoko they should also know say omoko ni sika na omoko akoje no ombetua ka. And we will be tired anybody that will come into government after say NPP akoje this IMF because Nana Danko Akufo-Addo knows to say oh no now he has nothing to lose. All he has to do is to enjoy because you see ana etikroma no Nana can never be president again. Neither can he be a minister, neither can he be an MP. Nana echo no retirement or continue home come say Oduman kuma na beto inside their friend. It in the last minute, last days na na born there. A grace period, a glory days. Nana de gene nisa. What about these people who will come after Nana? And when there was a mojune who no say okay. Now the way Nana run the country needs to see in the latter days we say. Yeah, but what are we going to tell Ghanaians? Because I'm telling you, 2016-2020, the manifesto any promises and another Danko Akufo-Addo by any ano deni nano. A manifesto a better 100 years for NPP. So there is no new manifesto. Whoever is coming will bring it. Okay,
yeah, Honorable Kennedy Japan. Also a member of Parliament. Emma Nkofo Asen Central. Na Osanye an aspiring and as a presidential hopeful for the new patriotic party. Yankoshe also asemo kan asase radio just somewhere last week and last 2 weeks on a call for an interview and what he said on the IMF. Yankoshe Brown.
But if I hear some people argue that we should go to IMF, any government that goes to IMF has failed. And we haven't failed for the good works that we have done in this country. You should applaud Ken Ofori-Atta. He's not well, but still, yesterday I heard them in war. All in the name of the country. Please. But if I hear some people argue that we should go to IMF, any government that goes to IMF has failed.
Okay. Enti Kene Japan so the no me say na me evidence based. Enti I say government has made a U-turn and then gone for its own vomit in some more kan when it comes to IMF. We are not going back to the IMF. We are not going ebuabo mo no. Enti na me bubo say video si nyina amaw. Say na uti chira won ka say e be politics. And I say we are taking one side. We are what has changed now for government to, because as far as back at 2019, and most of the Ghanaian economists who say Ghana will go to IMF. Now economists now can say Ghana be call IMF awon. So power krom hanu.
Ignorantly,
so what happened? What happened? That is the question we are asking. Clement.
Majority of Ghana people, they are just there. They are just there occupying positions, chopping money. Because if indeed we have economists that they don't work for the government, most of them as entrepreneurs, and they are able to predict the future of the country. And we don't have people in their right senses to sit down and ask some questions to say, and some let's see. If not anything, they are economists. Let's listen to them and see say they are more canny if it makes sense or not. If it makes sense, then we see the way for it. If it doesn't make sense, then we disregard them. But because the kind of leaders we are having, the system now a government is so arrogant. Now, to say, as a official, will be anything. Whether you are an economist, whether you are whatever, about no rubbish with this issue.
Okay.
Now listen to what Canadian is saying.
So any government that goes to the IMF it means you are a failure.
You are a failure. So the simple question is, say now that NPP acquire IMF, have they failed? because I might be a IMF BI failure there, and NPP is going to IMF.
It's also applied to the administration.
If 1 + 2 is 3, then 2 + 1 is 3.
Okay, my main kind, it's a phone, so and I should phone a show. No,
Sama OTP na one year, I will say, the political party be a will be a chain, what tea as no. In the name of the council,
sure.
You never get to know.
But you see, take by Ekasano can say it is not bad for you to go to the IMF.
No, nobody is against that.
These people made it so demonic. Say,
IMF, just say, only Satan the tone said.
Yes, and even look at the words that General Secretary of the NPP used to say. A demonic. That ska ukojina ya wobosia. Wobosia che say a bosia woja untmintua.
It comes with its own poison.
Let me read some of the messages about Augustine Chumesi if you are I'll say anybody who can defend MPP now can defend Satan at heaven's gates. Okay, thank you. Add them dignity or say let's forward the list to the IMF country director. After they give them the money, this is what they will use it to do. On no about communication team, you know, say
IMF formatted that. They understand the economies more than the
Lali Jiwonu sharing if he have a voter region say why won't Baumia go and lecture in the universities again about the economy? Well, that is a question we are also. But my main question is Emmanuel Owusu, executive director, Emma Movement for Responsible and Accountable Governance and Teaching and Komo. Yima, good morning. Napo what you saying?
Good morning, Janadom. Me who batch now so.
Yeah, madam, yeah, who here active. Now, ye bisa say Ghana's decision to go to the IMF. No, ye bisa say Adena are buying. Taking this decision now.
Yeah, kind. Mamincha with telephone for I think say me say I buy IMF because we said the economy in this situation. No, it's important that we go to IMF because say as of mine, it keeps rising. Inflation has fallen into terrible, has been very terrible in the last 12 months. Yeah, monetary policy rate, is not has not been too good in the last 12 months. Yeah, Ghana's credit rating, you have some credit rating. So your credit ratings fall. So our credit ratings has fallen. People, the foreign market, they are not giving us money. You see, your credibility, outperform your balance of payment deficits. At least in the first quarter of 2021, it was around $430 million. Investor confidence, investors, the confidence has gone down.
Sure.
Yeah. Economically, fuel prices, cost, the standard of living in the country is becoming very, very, very high. At this point, Rebecca said, Ghana, we need support because. Over here, even in the coming months, payment of salaries, buying. That's for public sector workers. At this point, I think IMF. Anytime a country goes to IMF, it means the country needs some liquidity support. And at this time, Ghana, you hear that kind of liquidity support because
okay, now, Utie, information minister, Honorable Kojo Ponkroma, Asemba all can I say the fact say Omoko IMF non say they are not managing the economy very well, but one of the financial analysts, Ekasado say Uko Bincheng Ekobo Bisia, not just Usi Kasemonye. Is that the case with Ghana going to the IMF?
Oh, definitely. I mean, of course. If you had money, Rebecca said, "Oh, Sika,
now you have excess resources, sir. A bit me taking care of the economy. I don't know how because if you have unless maybe a bino a among country, but as of now, we know the challenges that we are facing. Yaboka excessively. I mean, yabobusia excessively. Salaries. Most of government, statutory funds, they are in arrears. Get fund, scholarships are we have not been we've not paid a lot of the statutory funds. So why is Argentina government because me call IMF, it doesn't mean say me managing the economy well. So I think say the information minister can said you say a damage control because for several years, what government communicators with reactors, IMF there, young Kodana, a binder that no manage economy into no call IMF. I say a ferry crabum into to ferry no sooner buying information minister Naso and yes, manage economy. Clearly, the economy has been mismanaged. Share inflation rates. Look at the number of taxes that you placed on fuel. I mean, all those things are clear indicators. Say in Yema Enkuyi Emma Abayi.
Okay, you share a year one of the fund that Abanwe and Sabekan year and as Ombeto so Embromoba Abanwe mo a year sinking fund. The sinking fund was supposed to mean say. Any been a day etuya yenka yedede into share Eurobond a year Eurobond Sky and President Kufuor Ekwaje just this year April and March muna say can be a dikotuya say kana yedeno this year a year sinking fund no aban ede omonsa aboses kanimu aspendi says kano how are we going to manage our debts because this year no call markets, bond markets, we are not credible there. So what should government be doing so that we become credible at the bond markets?
You see, the mechanics say a very basic things are I will say are buying here because I think we should just cut down the wastage in the system because
wastage, what can wastage now? A bit saying.
Oh, your friend is saying a buying expenditure, cost your wage bill, I mean, I understand now if you go to the presidency, I mean, number of people I have form or buying form is just way too much. And I feel so the corruption in the system also count. And
you have just one.
Teacher training allowances, all those. There are things that we can do in order to reserve some good money. I think the free SHS policy now. I am saying now government cannot sustain it. I think it's about time I will say you review near Sika Elkomu. You say at this point they say the mass because
you some for back CCR into Bomodian say unquechre MIA. You be for back CCR and producers be for back CCR Bomodian say unquechre MIA. Okay, into Yima and any Imanolowusu or ye executive director Emma movement for responsible and accountable governance. Now no or chair wastage nibi. Wastage you say call a year presidency staff are a good honor. President a former no almost also cry too much.
4,000
and the government is also spending a lot. We share a year president ne private jets or renting the two coin. And secondly, so we share a year Nancy Wright say V8 back home carry a whole presidential chair and also a year another wastage a war system anymore. Do you agree with what I say government? But about what I say, well, there's no wastage in the system. You also in the media have evidence because we share CSOs, yes, allowance omunyinya so no.
A typical example for CSOCD. Osha obi yema obi allowance so onfentua DSTV package allowance na dey money pa no more than the package DSTV charges, extra view even charges. Then it tells you clearly certain things are not well with us because you say are there near 1 cedi, you give the person 1 cedi, but 1 cedi now money per 1 cedi 50 pesos. It means there is corruption. We've heard the rate are buying just recently. Just Belgium and just Rwanda now buying the £480,000 and echo charter plane. It tells you there is something wrong with us as a country. It tells you there is something
wrong. Meanwhile, that same
with
private jets now, presidential jets now almost say into me into Quino. That same week, echo Portugal. Echo Portugal, San Samichiba.
Maybe one NPP guy, be catch me say it's a hard jet, and it's safe for the president. I don't know the kind of person a president in here. I don't know the body I will carry, and I don't know the blood I will carry. A plane that can travel and yet condition for the president.
How does it determine it's not safe?
That is what I'm asking.
How does it determine?
Body kita o mampanyi and moje wo mampanyi mu no is different from any other person. Our the jet no too kwan call Portugal. That is what I'm saying. You get it? And the you can now we boma. Then it tells you say government and as a president and its people, no, they just want to live a kind of luxury life will be to satisfy their own ego, personal needs, not to think about the ordinary Ghanaian. And I said the vote are not sorry how much a kokoto abamano. Can you say how the rate or mampenyi di enimu ni yeto o man sika gu yeto o man sika gu ni di o man sika e you should meaninglessly. Like a whole lot of things. And you bet me make it out of all these monies. Now 480,000 pounds. Whilst the British Prime Minister can ride on a bicycle. So you ask yourself, country you are surviving to even come to middle income. Whereas a fellow country to say Kenya here every middle income. With all the resources you have as a country, untumi nuru or my Ghana. Might be on a Ghana enter and as entaphobia, you in the same year, Biano, or Muina Paya.
Okay, now another way be about this Honorable Kennedy upon Asangoka said, those say we don't have that video. No, Asangoka say President Mahama, former President Mahama, Nempire or Bonina say MPP be call IMF no abim. If Omo call IMF it should be blamed on former President Mahama.
It wasn't empire now, Obo. It was a reality Mahama was saying.
I mean, what do you be? You come in last week Thursday. You call program via Mahama Akasa Ewase, and Mahama stated clearly said the best way governments can solve all this economic crisis is to go to IMF. That is their possible solution. I mean,
because without the IMF, no one is going to be.
Now, only the Thursday, no. Because our former president, most media outlets, AUSU here for their political discussion from Thursday, Rihanna to, and the way they went, most of party communicators, no. Only for us for Friday morning, even Crapo on Friday morning, no. I'm communicating about one of our TV stations, one of the TV stations catch Ghana for say MPP for pay lessons on the economy from Ubia. It shouldn't be President Mahama. 1 hour later, and a statement back out saying, "You call IMF."
Senka, na NDC that's war power. And Omoka so Omoko IMF. Anka what the current administration NPP will say the Mahama canon, it was a clear indication based on the circumstances how na economy na ba do summary. It is not say the only way able to bailout can say able to maneuver away is to go to the IMF. Now on kasa because or NDC member, now on kasa because no person can be against the NPP, but no kasa because of how or where economy no ababe do. And all the 190 countries are IMF nina. Any country be able to do this state Ghana you have no option than to go to IMF. Akola say do the air dia udwane kotwa ne mame ana ne papa udwane kotwa neja udwane kotwa na wofo nya sa na tie ana. So as we sit here the body a mother at the IMF. So when Mahama saw said no, now and the only person we can run to a mother, which is the IMF. Or can't say when people will take it to be politics because of opposition. That's what I'm saying. And this in the upper one, IMF, what the NPP people will say, a very different. But now reality now hitting the grounds.
Okay.
It is clear, it is true. Now the NPP is going to the IMF.
Okay, so we'll bring you more of the videos now. Here can one some no producer almost all the videos. No, we want you to know, say we are using what they said, and that is what now Emmanuel Eka said. They made it so bad, say it was so bad, demonic to go to the IMF.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Launch a whole beyond age.
Okay, so the current vice president, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and Anopi, IMF and Embra.
The IMF, you were spending too much relative to revenues, which is true. You were borrowing too much, which is true. Your external payments position has deteriorated, which is true. And so you ended up, your growth is reducing, which is true. So you ended up at the IMF, and the IMF would impose certain conditions, which is true. And if you don't do certain things right, the anchor will not hold, which is true. So I'm not quite sure what it is that is not true that I said. But I think, unfortunately, the supporters of this government and this government itself are very reluctant to admit the truth, even when it hits them in the face. To the IMF, you were spending too much relative to revenues, which is true. You were borrowing too much, which is true.
Okay, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, what he said in 2015, Emra, the then NDC administration now says some more called IMF, and this is what he said. Just say you are going to the IMF because you are borrowing too much. You are overspending. So let me tell you something. After the time I now NDC for call IMF, now the total cost of our debts, now 54 million Ghana cedis. 54 million Ghana cedis. But see, after the time I call IMF under this administration, Nana Addo Dankwa Bawumia administration, over 300 million Ghana cedis. So we are still going back to the IMF based on the same reasons. Based on the same reasons, Dr. Bawumia, excessive borrowing. And also overspending. Clearly, in resource persons been in Makasa so far. No, actually, say government is spending more than it is earning as a country. It's videos in the baby nana.
On say now, Kenuforiata ne health, good health. Bawumia or chest person and all kinds of second for that. And now I
oh, that's on the lighter side. Young kind more messages. No,
oh, it's not well with them. Oh, it's not well with them.
So, okay. So now, my main call a year, old video be mao. Kenuforiata, what he said. Tama NDC administration under John Dramani Mahama, a call IMF. Now me say. Ghana had just asemamba videos. Okay, it's Yanko Kenoforiata somewhere in 2015 when he spoke against the then administration when they went to IMF.
How would you respond to your critics who say that you don't have a message?
You know, when a government moves from 9 billion cedis worth of debt that we leave them in 2008, and by 2012 they are at 36 billion, and then by this year they are at 105 billion. How could there not be a message?
They talk about different economies.
You create
the economy of 9 billion, the economy of
no, I'm talking about billion. The debt that they incurred.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they mentioned the economy of the 9 billion. That was a small economy. Now it's a huge one.
No,
and
but,
so
they're
taking more loans.
25% of debt to GDP, and now we are talking about 72% of debt to GDP.
I see.
So you have basically no fiscal space. to do anything, and that's because you think you can borrow your way out of debt, which is not possible. And therefore, the ideas of entrepreneurial creativity and really supporting businesses, not killing them with energy prices, inflation, devaluing currency. Those are the things that go to give economic freedom for people to operate. And I believe it is that we can bring back.
The currency's stability for these years, notwithstanding, you think it's a currency that's not doing well?
Well, the currency has not done well.
You have quite stable some few
It's been, yeah,
months.
I mean, these few months it has been quite stable, but you have moved from 1.2 to 4, unless you want to forget it, but that's real. You know, you can't brush it under the carpet. You have to accept that you came and met something and this is what you have done to it. Clearly, you don't have the competence to keep an economy that stays within a certain debt to GDP model. That maintains a currency at a point in which businesses can work, that provides energy to make sure that there's productivity. I mean, the gross savings of the country has been depleted when you run deficits of double-digit figures for about 3 years. There's no savings left. And then corporates are therefore not producing as much as they do, so they don't have savings. And individuals like you and I, you know, you get your paycheck and it's over before you can say jack. So then there's no give, and you think that you can borrow to continue. So now interest payment now constitute your second largest government expenditure. From 680 billion or so that you used to pay in 2008, you are now paying 10 billion. Okay, so you have created a situation in which things are difficult, where private sector is just aghast at what it should do, where productivity has shrunk, and therefore you are compelled to increase taxes. So it's just a very vicious cycle that you are in, and until you get a fresh look at it, you know, you are stuck and derailed.
Talking about the interest payment that you mentioned, your opponents are saying that what you're paying isn't all the loans that they took, and that the interest are some of the loans that your party took when you were in power some time ago.
Well, the issue for me, Bright, is if somebody says that, saying it is different from the fact.
Okay.
You know, if you were paying 680 million CDs and you are now paying, you know, literally 10 billion, which is...
Okay, Ken Oforiatta, now we interview you with TV3, 50 days to the 2016 election, December 7 election, or making statement now or accuse administration, they say, as a time President Kufuor Efi office, now or manage the car 9 billion Ghana cedis, and now Omobe and NDC administration they can fee about 54 billion Ghana cedis. Sisiano, and that one they said it was very bad for the economy at that time. And almost from 54 billion to over 320 billion Ghana cedis. Clement.
I don't say you too. Now, he's talking about debt and taxes, which of course, about debt now about taxes are comparably no. Every year, from the 54, send NDC by 6 years, sorry, NPP by 6 years, and then from 54 to over 300. 5 times 6 is 30. So it means that every year, NPP administration increase debt now, and I say, can NDC NPP by every year be increasing by 50. Every year be increasing by 50 because 6 years, you know, what the 5 times it takes 6 is 30. That's over 300. Into every year, into 54 now, NDC debt in Oja. The year be NDC baby or the 54 count or the count every year be or the 54 count or the accounts and I'll be do over 300 within 6 years. So we are expecting say if we do the next elections, the next 2 years, you know. Now account times 2 as about account. So from 300 it is going to over 400 because every year it is by 50. Talking about taxes in the idea. NPP by taxes are all now. I raise the cost. NPP by taxes are one which is here. Yes, and the account. Say all taxes no crana. If you are not 1 cedi, and I 1 cedi 50 pesos, and it is still the same tax. But all taxes and cost no. Introduction of new taxes as about account. there be ayatena haka time in the time out say petroleum nkwa pe 12 taxes and no pay 12 taxes. So it tells you say when you are saying say minor taxes does one, it means a government is not good. Then clearly NPP government is not good because taxes are those one. When you say cost of living, borrowing, and debt it means government are failure. Then NPP government has also failed because taxes cost under NPP government. Taxes, debt, cost under NPP government. For all indications, HSA, the law of karma is working. Whatever be now or more previously, and it's quite unfortunate. Sometimes you see people in our anchor, we still see. Now you PNC in our anchor, we still say, I don't know what anchor, we still see. But I quite unfortunate, not a NDC in our. That is why we are saying among for because we belong to the NDC. Okay. That is not the case.
Anthony from Nungwa, I'll say hello. I just want to say that everything that we do in this country, do we have a plan or do we plan it? Do we plan before we started?
No.
Free SHS. They plan. Did they plan for the impact before doing it? Now we have to borrow. Where are we going, Ghana? Anthony from Nungwa. Thank you very much for your message.
Free SHS will do us more harm than good.
Okay.
Because we are producing waste more.
From Kwabravi of Pokwase, Benghazi, I don't understand why President Akufo-Addo is still occupying the Jubilee House and having resigned as president and #1 commander of Ghana for destroying the economy of Ghana. Our Ghana citizens is useless now and can't buy anything because of bad leadership. Messages about I'll be doing more of the messages. But can I say about 8:30, maybe a phone line, you know, amount now what the discussion about Isaac Binyondu a year Upper East or say we need Dr. Baumia himself. He can't be hiding in the debris all this while. He needs to speak on the economy. Okay, a year ni ganubi ewo teshi or say why is Baumia not on the list that you guys posted this morning? Why is the Minister of Finance not there? Great discussion. I like your evidence-based reports. Okay, thank you, Niga Jobi. You can send in your message 0503-236-735, 0503-236. But you can share Kenofora Tabium. Embra Osteti said Ghana will not go back to the IMF.
But I can tell you, as my colleague, Deputy Minister said, we are not going to the IMF. Whatever we do, we are not. The consequences are there. We are a proud nation. We have the resources, we have the capacity. Don't let anybody tell you. Like when Joshua, Caleb, and 10 others went to spy on the promised land. And only 2 of them came to say that we can do it. And the 10 went around the community, murmuring, you can't, We are not people of short sight, you know. And we have to move on, okay? So, let's think of us as who we are, a proud, strong people, the shining star of Africa, and we have the capacity to do what we want to do. If only we can speak that one language and ensure that we burden share in the issues ahead.
Mr. Speaker, the yield levy is also going to help with the fiscal consolidation effort and reduce the debt levels of our country. And that also means that we are going to see an improved economic ratings and not returning to the International Monetary Fund, which is the only solution our friends on the other side have always preferred. Why don't you go to the IMF? Go to the IMF. We have shown that we have alternatives to building the economy of this country without resorting to conditionalities that will be imposed on this country. We will not go to the IMF today, we will not go to IMF tomorrow, and we are not going as long as the NPP remains in power. Mr. Speaker, looking beyond the yield levy, government is further taking steps to cushion Ghanaians against the hardship caused as a result of the twin crisis of COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia.
Okay, so we are not going to the IMF today. We are not going to the IMF tomorrow, according to a Deputy Minister of Finance, John Kumar. But hey, finally, government has negotiated or has initiated a negotiation with the IMF. Government has made a bigger U-turn. U-turn with the Emuyedru. U-turn when I wear a so no be a team. Hey, ube and ubina. Government of Ghana acquire no make proclamation so but my kind dear IMF, good evening. But this time which are good evening. Okay, message if you are Jiman Esther or say dear IMF, good evening, but I don't know why you are saying good evening. So let me use good morning. Please, can you request from the President of Ghana when NABCO trainees will be paid their stipends after we were informed to remain at post? We have not been paid for 8 months now, and something must be done. Just put yourself in our shoes. We sit on money, but we are poor. Thank you, Esther. And the Ghana also letter we forward ma IMF Emano.
Where I come quickly. Do you know, sir? This administration led by Nana Akufo-Addo, and Bawumia, the two finance ministers, they are very wicked. Do you know why? Share upon all Sika $1 billion post-COVID Sika IMF de ma yin. Once a my ti omugu mountain so as COVID frontiers in Ina, 100,000 Ghana cedis are buying from 10,000 Ghana cedis.
Clement, we say
10,000 Ghana cedis.
Opa me no yenko labor union so yen o metro car abagyo.
But all kasa already okay. Yenka oforiata ne John Kumar de enemy no ina. We have the resources, we have the capacity. So we are not going to IMF today. We are not going to IMF tomorrow.
So what
we say we have the resources, we have the capacity.
We are a proud nation.
John Kumar say we are not going to IMF today. We are not going to IMF tomorrow. So now the resources, where are they? The capacity, who built the capacity? And I said, never has it destroyed? Then why are we going to IMF today? It means that going to IMF today, we will go to IMF tomorrow.
Sure.
Because if you are not going today and today we are going, then it means that if you don't want to go tomorrow, we will go tomorrow. I don't know who this is.
Wadanfo, a Greek minister. On an answer call shopping or saying Yamana or call Tony 100 Ghana cedis. Oko Insura FM
I respect us. A Greek minister, they said, "Yet you say you bet to me pioneer Cotadi. Who do on my nipper say, Jenny Clement, at the any attention, or say for 2 cities, but it doesn't mean at the end of what do a Greek minister
what can say be or say I am a Formudi Ekui. I am a Formudi Ekui. Ghanaians will be proud of them as a government.
Such a meaningless statement. Statement about you can be Anguziaga.
Solid team, economic team, no. Solid economic team, no.
You economic management team. Of course, I'm a member.
And I'm the IMF, no. I don't know the you are a fantastic solid team. Now my year from us are the echo.
Oh no.
Ghana for some money.
Oh okay. Ghana for eventually no. On be praising.
Some IMF.
Say we have given the situation no. Now I will say yeah. IMF and a foreign AO. We are a member of the IMF. We are a very prominent African member of the IMF. It's not some stranger or Tibebina. And they are there to advise governments when the liquidity situation or the crunch, whatever the government thinks, and the president in his wisdom has decided to say it's about time we speak to them. So we are speaking to them. The terms I did, and then here and yes, say call. I mean, if you pick a phone and call your colleague about a certain situation, that's not the end of it.
When I look at the economic management team, it is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akotose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Oforiata, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Mafu. What a solid team.
In fact, okay, so what's a solid team. That is according to Dr. Baumia. Na bakuna not say Instra FM no Dr. Fiyakuto. Na or say IMF no, they are not new to the IMF now. Omo call as a member of the IMF. So the question is, if you knew say you were a member of the IMF, I don't know be and call no would demonize it.
Maybe it's that time, you know. Tama past administration at the Ghana call IMF. And I say over the years, number of times I call IMF in Ghana, MCNA and part of IMF. MC NPP administration, you pay a buy and a Ghana acquire part of IMF. That's why we say let's speak to power. You're pending for any more cancer, my young Samba credit. No, they are young Samba crying because one say, oh, say, go call IMF, and we are part of IMF. So IMF is there to guide us how to run the country. No more. When the previous administration was going to IMF, now were they not part of IMF? Now was IMF not there to guide and help control or manage the economy? I didn't do this particular administration. I say this current administration, so Ghana be part of IMF, so we can go to them.
Comment.
Does it make sense?
Government raising back on say Ukraine war, no. Ukraine Russia war. I can confidently say, on authority say, Ghana has not been affected by Russia-Ukraine war.
Just as COVID, yes, come.
They should go and read the Kell Institute for World Economy. Kell Institute for World Economy. Kell Institute just say African countries are affected most by Ukraine grain blockade. No, Tunisia, Egypt, South Africa, Cameroon, Algeria and Libya, Senegal, Morocco, Guinea, Mozambique, Benin.
Go and see the number of these countries are in there. Or money IMF ever talks to some more can run no more economy. Ukraine no.
Ukraine
or petition IMF say your money is for bailout and I am on fans of the crisis. So you see how sick we are as a country.
Good morning. Good morning, my family. I'm enjoying the show. But this our Greek minister is a joke and confused. Peter is
now it's alright Greek minister 2015. Now when is here you see some differences.
Okay, you have phone lines no amount now only actually and come on 0245946615 0245954615 free na any actually kopacho offer ma the volume on the TV set no and pay
say your friend say we kwesichi say
okay
our bodampe
producer I will say picture now offer but video no video now we are active by now ontie ni ye
and everybody who do one ma do a video
okay Jifa Gunu as an message we have the men not knowing the men are guru boys and veranda
but we have the men
boys
we have the men who can lead this country to fail. We have them and they are competent in failure.
Also hello good morning. Hello good morning.
Good morning.
Me pacho ma follow on TV September from Kakramame.
Yeah, good morning, boss.
Me pacho ma volume no our TV September from mame.
Yeah, pacho.
Pacho for send for our free.
Pacho for me can my nezongo.
Okay, Karim my intio.
Me pacho Clement how was he in Samano no cry menya Japan.
Okay.
So now we see a blasting telephone and meet the papa. Then it's Madina Church, double program be me follow. And I said that program score and every day. So now Baumia Becasabi Bree Baumia for the best share box. Like some economy not doing it. Well, Emmy just say, you throw me try na Manipalia in a Abraham. Emmy.
Okay. Yamisha to say free. About my friend 0245954615. 0245954615. Okay. We will my friend now the comments about Clement.
They may say now going to IMF no. Clearly statement they not make a crab
okay.
I was saying something.
Hello, good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Me patcho for say for our free.
This free Paul. Me free my Abela camp.
Okay, Pacho, what's some sweet you?
Yo, the chairman. I'm sure Ghana Munkasam.
Pacho, ma wone suka krama me why? Na ye ka. Okay.
Nankasam, yeah, I was here for my father and for no a dear don't there. Because all country are Monsieur Munchi. A good father and Nankasa is here no tune for Alcasa wanting. Or more who ban and Casacran or Mutin for your pen oil. It I said, upon a man I have Basano, Nanijo, for Penta. There are no so many acquire called Jessica Dinon Swabiti. Jessica Moka I am a Fakwagen. 18 on me, and yes, almost bad a year, you may be our Ghana. On Babi, I'm almost dead, on Bear Campy. I can't almost bear campy. Let's come on their campaign. You are the air can say, a good father would kill one year. Because one more Ghana. Would kill one year. And they are looking one because one more distant. Why say? This is young.
Okay.
So I can say more than that's one who free has ever.
Okay. Yeah, as I said, also offer also to my friend 0245 954 615. I mean, yeah, more of the messages. Philip, I'll say perhaps we should also tell the IMF that Akufo-Addo is paying someone as director of Keta Port when there is no such thing as Keta Ports. Okay, that is that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Me pacho for say for our free.
Me don't know na to dobra me.
Okay, Nana, my intio.
Yo. Mission the need farm here now. I made it simple. And to do for we have to condemn them. Now, young fa idea we need back. You should forget about politics. Because you have another buy the catch everything is so. And see every. You have and you know, yo, and your man was a civilization. Yes, you show me. And then, sorry to say, it should be here. One city. Toilets can have all the problem. I think you're better. It's me, Mr. Justice said. I was saying, active demonstration, a bit in your over. Active.
Okay.
Yen 2 on 3 so. Missy cool lady of the bus.
Pacho, Darby, Mister,
we don't subscribe to.
We don't subscribe to coolness any mano. Yes, sir. Pacho, so we transfer my baby the power. Okay, I think producer.
We are not subscribing.
Yes, we are not subscribing to that. It's in Pacho. Active TV, any active management. Actually, fee. Say it's in same. I mean, more of the messages now about any pay. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Me pacho fa say for na free.
Me free touching them too.
Pacho fa say. Okay, Nico, my intio.
Opo ato me ko. No ni tani mu pe ga ke to ma ju ga.
O fa ne yo.
Ba me president our president. Kadi ukwe ameni tumo na metumo ye mane ni. Amediga that side won obutu wa. Ejake una assemblymen we wa kutuamu kikapuna banya le dem nek keka ma dem te de sabibu niko pe ma si be mo fe de go ma do kuna banya keta ma si le to mike wo ye parties kan bi ni kama ba kan bi ni take ne kem kwa wa president am ga me do mo ya no ni ma bi ni yo ma ni amena no to wa metuwe president ke e wu me ne fe na idea ko akọ wu te ta ga ma te na ra fa ka te ba fe ma wa ya ni.
Okay. Yo, oh, you are not Nico. Yo, Nico, you are not. Nico, you are not. Okay, Ocha or Labine, Bohu Banocha 0245 954 615. Also, to my friend 0245 954 615. And Ronnie Ajete, or say, now under the supervision of Nanado, not only our health, education budgets are financed from the pockets of other people, but the whole budget is funded with IMF and foreign support. Okay. And thank you very much. Kunovi famous, or say our president Akufo-Addo and his team are empty barrels, nothing more, nothing else. Nyas Ibrahim on the Docha said Ghana beyond aid indeed. Mensa Mills Williams, I said, do you know what has come to the France president's mind on how? Oh, okay, the message didn't come in full. Okay, it's also wait to me the message about zero. Okay, Mami call Abano. So hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, senior.
Me patch first and fan free fee.
Me patch Collins ni Omanjo na feel free.
Okay, Collins, my intio.
Yo, senior, me chia woni wati fo nyina ene anopai. Kakra me person me kapa discussion ya moye when say as I say Nana do who say was fairly Ghana for. In fact, we are totally disappointed because there Russia Nanado e dey share Ghana for any kasa Nanado kaya no enye no na yehuni. Essence ye share ultimi confat over $40 million e di koye logo keke. Wa bra project na nkasa na wo be ye no kra no wonya start ye. Ye mi say sika chichiri bi ya waje ye national cathedral na e wa hi. Obi a wire designer architect keke kra no timi over $300 something million just for a single project. Na and also the IMF was Ukraine and Russia and Toka. Ye mi say ye ne Croatia he for na e Ukraine Russia. And Croatia for omoko IMF because of war na.
Russia. So, okay, Russia, Croatia, okay.
Yeah, Croatia, Russia.
Okay.
You mean so more Croatia for no a war into Omako IMF na.
Okay, Collins, see that was a Collins up fast and from.
That's all. They say I'm not here. Nothing so here bomba. Moses is MC will be the reception. That's a blast here and I blast here. Oh, now what you are saying now what come Moses MC and that's a candidate.
Okay, are you by Ibrahim or say IMF or no IMF? That I know it is still what it is. Even if the government World Bank gives the government all of its money, they will still feel Akufo-Addo must resign. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mia no masia ba radio mo ka tse me.
Say unsam na kind na me pesa ka obeka.
Okay,
when you boss the sign man.
Oh, dey match assign.
Good.
By ya only dey e da so wa youth ni you. Dia me no class dia you me see me prayer National Cathedral. Because she on my bra ye bread. There be a top one who could hear the man so see cathedral be more. Be de bien me cassette. You been a sorry no cry coming on my year coffin. Because this new churches ya baby she timer. I was saying you can't find me jubilee. No we jai. What's me come on? How sir? We bet you never do with that time. And by one who know what they might need you. When so see you, that the city to say, Afghans and Alabama, when you're open, I have a for.
Okay, yeah, I say, Ofreye, Abubakar Tahiru, or say, the sad thing is the economy the sad thing about the economy is that it is now worse than when Baumia was making those pronouncements and lectures on the economy. MPP pa any. I need him. That is needing or the buyer or a year Ogbojo. Or say the internet is very fair to Dr. Baulaya. He prophesied on himself. We didn't get it then. Now it is manifesting under his watch. You can also send your messages 0503-236-735, 0503-236-735. Always we are 0245 954-615. Maybe for last caller. Now, the entertainment update with Fabia Abba. My last caller. Now, you entertain call more. Okay, my more of the messages now. Abba no. Per Michael Ochibefi's statement, it means that we should thank God that free SHS is coming to an end. Now that government is going to the IMF. Nuhu Tete Ewo Amasaman. Thank you very much for your message. Let me do more of the messages and I'll pay on the show. Good morning, AB. It is sickening to note that the MPP Ekufuado Baumia succeeded in misleading Ghanaians to power and has currently destroyed Ghana. Today, inflation has engulfed us all. They should come out to apologize to JM and the NDC and the country at large. Today, if you go to Abusokai, the song they sing in regret is Yetisi Castle Nanso Ekom Deyeng. High regards to Clement and Apostle General. Faisal Mtaru Bapuri, Chobo constituency. Faisal, send my car message, not just a Salah, Ben now see on home. Misanye Chia Hajia Fati, Hajia Bapuri Fati, Ana Mutaru Fati, or a year obey ye, a year Faisal, Mamma, or no
Faisal and Bibi Mammy.
Bibi Mammy, would do Fiwa TV no, that active. Say program no fan who and fan who are active. It's mommy ye chow and I know. Me from the last caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Me pache for send fan our free.
Me pache friend Eva me kaze free Ashiama.
Okay, Eva, I'm into you.
Me pache IMF no me say dan say word na say in kaya so mo no educate and kakra for IMF no because you IMF so yen tianse enti na me friend na me tun sha mo pa ni mo djuma pa mo ye
mate Eva ye da say okay enti ye ka say IMF ye international omudin and ya cutting shots but omudin nyina ye International Monetary Fund na omo ye edwumekuo bi a omo wo amanone na
yes,
Washington na amaya bebre 190 eka omo ho na omo di djuma na de omo ye ne se wo ye oman na usikasem enko yi a ana se usika ntutu ye enko yi a wo ko omo nchen na omo bobosia na omo bobosia na omo fasika no emma na omo nhwe wo se gwa akodiska no na mo omo di omo nkrofo eba kronimu ena omo ambehwe se sika na ye di ama no omo kire se yeni sei is that say omo sika no mode ma na omo pese wo use sika no e wo nyansa kwan so enti se oman bi ekọ koje bo se omo nche omo tumi ka kire oman ne se ase be ma wo sika no ye be pese o president yes ye hu se wo tu kwan ya o de plane a ne boy edin etu kwan te so ye hu se president ede bia office mudi sika 15 cedis that ye person mote so de ba 5 cedi enti IMF no obema obobesia obo aman besia na obo obesia no so a ode nhyehyɛ to hu se ubedi so aboni friend conditionalities or the total woman shall say, obedi so pepe na aba wo economy no assign any abeye kesebim. Clement, I hope say my
clear
argument no very well. Okay, my main call messages so na me kind last one na in fact discussion no and be say okay obedi was sending me hi good morning and me say hi good morning. How do you think conversation? It is about clients what we become.
The working in and say we have the men, we have the men. Little did we know, say they were men who were competent in failing.
Oh, we have men who were competent in failing.
You can't say you need him or you to papa, so you need him. You say at the power, we are very competent. You can rely on them at any point in time.
Okay,
those were the men and about me. I can't want them. We have the men. Those were the men. They are competent in failing. That is why the country is like this.
Okay, it's an inquiry ABC ha a year entertainment update with Fabia but Oyepe Clement ano a year active bites ebe brain and then anope ewo jumedian so Baba Menkai was say a year active media and active brain consultancy services a year media training na yabo hu de rule and then a year shase and then a year shase. And Tibomodia say, oh, when you just still sell person can media no one, social graphic designing, video editing, a year camera handling. Just say, you media be a family no aha, and a better 6 months practical training. Me say a year practical training. And to say, ya over qua, ukosia camera handling cra throughout the course, no camera crap in the some I had the oba 1 year show a Juman in production because wahina. Usia sena yeye no enti momodian say wa be file forms ewo ga Odumase junction ewo Pokwasi Ablekuma Kwantempo no so momodian say be file forms near 50 Ghana cedis school fees no so say at the form breo yes our flexible payment terms are che say ebe boa amawe to me aye course no enti momodian say obeba to see those say yes shall say no so enkechiri ma we it's more dear so we file phones. So with my friend 0244411814 0244411814 and answer 0267732508 0267732508. Yeah, we got Odumase Junction. I will Pokwase Ablekuma Kwantempo. So before I'm sorry, so no, a very very special happy birthday to Master Richmond Bwedu. Only can make us away from.
So in the active TV here.
Oh, active TV, yeah. On your
security, operations manager.
It's Yamin Cobro, Namin York say, na just say, me sure say, this was sending warning say, Emma active DBR. Into yeah,
and as I'm not can change now, I'm offensive. So, about 9:40 now, being
okay. It's yeah, Danny, your home Abasia and Kobebia. Active entertainment is up next. Stay active and see beyond.
SLBS Central Juma and yet media Semdanamo active media any active brains consultancy Acom Wabum Ejibusumi Sia Diatio SO Beyen Central Juma new entity anuti sa aya camera handling video editing afa graphic designing enya nunkwao newspaper reporting meche ko wakata impensempensemu afa eba ne kasebo makeup any MCR ni nyina wo bechire bi ewo ho na hyane son esa ohu hia yenti no ye mo 90% practicals enti kan ho na ko forms ewo active TV front decks ye chire kwan so de enya yira kwan ye waga Odumase Pokwase Ablekuma Kwantempo na eso enchechemu bia ese media for active media ewa homatrifo iso 0267732508 and I say 024441114 active media stay active and see beyond.
Sani a register SIM card fair ye Ghana, ke Ghana card pe, he Ghana card pe.
Onyango fake patra, lo mobile money services, ke internet ke ni bi ni call SIM card, ke you register ko.
Ke hani o register, Try star 404 hash. Ni oye gbechon no. Ababi bo ni bi ni yo Ghana card no. Ni ji Ghana card number. Gbe ni owo. Oshiagbe. Ofomogbi. Ke oji yo. Loanu.
Amabo code potenko. No go buy service provider ni bankable. Low customer care. Ni anye ako biometric details. Come on ko digital address one fetai.
Try star 404 hash. Ye ofo no. Ni oboy o SIM card register mo. Biane no.
Kiani le san. Try service provider ye 100 no. Allo NCA to free number ni 0800 110 622. Register mo SIM card biane no. No kakpan.
I'm sorry, I'm a fan by the Active Morning Show. So, Active TV and for us that PSC Emma Ajanim and Clement. So, Mutana say normal trending issues and so domi and mean say Utana and sounds who have been. But when you are cost our Ghana, we are more right entertainment field. Now, once young coach and Yama air cost and summer just air coachy and ever my air war the entertainment industry emu edia not just young for air coffee ajulu and shas in the training coffee ajulu Southern and Kai Ache. Now, way and or quadru a year interview be as such as a hot FMI and or quatnas and not much and common away, not better just say. Eche, who says, see, and a door, aqua could be a year shatawal in a mammy ho, and winter channel the ayom wedding dates about to Jana or be our asso activi, and winter the two just are not just a new million. I can't say, and Tomano, a bit to me, a quaco pebby, I just a bit to me, a day I call a year wedding, I say, Nassia, dear ho, and an door, a quaco 2011. Anna Kofi Ajulo and then yere and Anna Hokeni to someone tame at me at a tea and mammy nu and a Kofi Ajulo a went na some idea Kofi Ajulo new lava chess a wash a shimwa aquacuno a shatawale nutini shatawale ne mammy yan twaso na yan fa Jackie appear and some entwaso snitchly Jackie appear and some fitting last week just say a trend sa ye canna way cabina nina and say the fear just say a home for ni ever to ja and I just say for kan ho asama enya fedi agro ne hu se eye nkofo bebre etimi abo atai na chi esan se ense bo mo kan se oyo obi obo ne ho modin ye pa enu ti no ensusu ya na nsem ya nkofo ka fa ne ho ne de enye nokre hu se eye nyumto ni Miss V empo akabisan so na Beverly Afagron so the court return na cheso no so court return nsem to one man na cheso no so kebi de ama ni nua ba Jackie apia na we na United Showbiz just weekend we na Bulldog and so trend na adwin say mistake pass Jackie apia or din fie hu mfoni ebetu Jason say Jerry ebe sorry etia no ye hwe nsem aye Bulldog e kan ma. Okay, producer, koswa ehwehwe video na yemfa we ento aso ye ka ahunyade ani sika ho asem die yemfa eye nana bedi ako ensem ensoso ento aso eye ne ba bema ede nsem bi aba betu dwa chese o che ma trega na fo ne wiase amanye nyina se ni papa bo ne homodin ye pa na wenye sika nunti ne prom night okọ ya chese odi $300,000 wristwatch and according the nkofunja ho asem ekakra esansa ni papa bo ne homodin ye pa ana wenye sika nti se ne no ono nso so etimi ede eya $300,000 wristwatch akone prom night a eya asem kuma akranti Ghana fo nya se omo nso so omo de no aye trap ya chese omudi eho enkomo nti asama eye nana kwame bedi akọ no so ne ba berima enso edi betu edwan ye gira wesni efa we entwa to edia eye fantana nyintini fantana ne 25th birthday na chese photo shoot a pictures a wode betu to social media no na enya asem kuma wo share picture da wonfoni so a ana say da TV so na chese ade se na Ghana fo etwa boni ye pa se ne dressing ye a chese wode go ye photo shoot die entwa na enso ye nyina nim se fantana otin media we eye kumaka edemano ye be jina we suni ye de entertainment updates ne esi ha say na me be da me hu de not say Clement Anno de eye active bite ebro onim say do some media na say youth advocate na say be nyema so eni ede atro no jina ha de ma me nto man na me bisa ne say ene no ede na ye expert Clement anope afa na me we good morning.
Good morning.
Aye.
Biana amafu bisa
Fabia is back. The return of Fabia.
I'm telling you. Fabia way. Yes, you Fabia or Beba. A home love letters and the idea. And yes, I can tell you.
Yeah, me yeah just back. Me for we chat once away to me the active by as I must reach mobile minute.
Sure.
And then the workers say, "Obi oba be TV show money di on no one sem."
Active operations manager.
And so obi happy birthday kesi apa enkoma ya papa ba koma say Richmond just say o boy ye pa boy ye chidom na no ya dedicate your program na dia ma and say happy birthday so nkoma nyame show no nya okese no nya okese kopim say obi kese. Ete na Clement Anno active bites.
And you heard IMF, what has changed? Route to IMF. Say, we share previous administrations in Abaya Bobosia, Emma, this current administration. Proud to previous administration, about 2016 elections, MPP for can be say, I didn't think it was NDC for IMF because of mining with Kakoya, maybe Lanche, Ghana beyond it. I just say we have everything to succeed as a country. But then, there is this particular tweet here, 11 to be shame. There is this particular tweet here, a year Ashanti Region Communications Director NPP.
Okay.
Kwesichi, Eka say, Kwasia, and also be our board dampe, and Rebecca say, Yanko IMF.
And then after for me, Jabo Eddie about Clement Anno to the youth advocate for activate and for Embryo.
Those are the words, Anamepe, because Kwasia, and also be our board dam, Rebecca say, Yanko IMF, but then they acquire IMF, so we don't know. Say opeso che say o man penyi ye foolish and aso man penyi ye mad there your questions are e wo say bisa asemu enti san ye teaching Fabia but anyway u look good and power.
Thank you.
U look good and also buy a chintin and why say u do shishi go bibia shishi ka ade aye for full short and come on for
me say u dey move am here. Okay, it's now.
All right. Ebusama wakwaba Efabra the active morning once again. Active television so na tamedri the active bite said the muina munim no. Ye bebo run same name the editorial version active TV so near the city city no etumi na no the abro ne ahwe said the mine so ebetumi afa ne ntomapa the Efra once again everade enemy han enemy nkwaje hwan ena minshiro no odi manim edi machi said don bere ma Yehowa ene ma bankers ye hana ye won nso ye nshiro bia ena ya befa ho tan opeye down phone so a obedi kan 0503236735 or the WhatsApp and the text messages in about beje brand akenkan e the amount na makacho since last week nyina no amount for say money Facebook live will be your old Facebook account, it has been hacked. Indeed, is a new account at Active TV Ghana. Active TV Ghana. Okwa difference be because your logo and I say your sense to the end of that screen is no. Screen is on our right honum top wall. Active TV logo near that honor. call in Facebook page, new Facebook page na at Active TV Ghana na eno ena edaho any red and white Active TV no ewo kama follow na like page no na we are share echo WhatsApp groups ahodoɔ nyinaa fakɔ various accounts nyinaa Facebook groups ahodoɔ nyinaa na obi anso nya bi wadamfo bia wonim na ɔyɛ part of the Active family and as obi a believe in positivity wonim na ono so obetuma recommend the page e de amano na yen grow the positive family na o man nfa ne ntoma pamfefe at Active TV Ghana eno any in Facebook handle so na okọ YouTube nso so Active TV GH one word okọ obehu the same logo any red and white no the that screen so no say eda ho no ma okọ make sure say YouTube ne so obe subscribe o subscribe we na wa share we are ja comment o na I'm sure after say YouTube no wa subscribe no o share ubo say adoma be obi eda ho mi abe one so never to all umi abe one so anu mi all say be day in and day out dey be ebe hit screen bi ano o so betumi a notification o be a wo bi a na so so betumi hu say dey AC echo ye bo man op dey mi bi say na say road to IMF what has changed. Oman Ghana, Sisi, Oman Penina, and Danko Kufuado say we should go back to IMF. Honorable Kendo for Yata and Abedi Chino Momakina, Mumbabo, no Oman Ghana, Yanko IMF, Enko Bobusia. I explaining circumstances in these situations are over to me, Ako IMF, where over ABA payment problems, where ABA disaster be an answer to range be to a minor, natural disaster be to a minor, a beyond or minor a control, where ABA crisis are hit or minor. Or whatever, whether mismanagement or many sikasema ebasa problems bebre and our mind be our home kind so between me call IMF International Monetary Fund no mako ako pisika na asa mako ako bobosia said beya or mine so between me afa into mapa ediefra. If you're looking at all these instances and or my Ghana ye body IMF whichever way no aban be our some reasons or they call IMF but these are the basic reasons say problems with payment say when the nation is in crisis when or mine sikasem and konkan and as a natural disaster be these are the basic reasons or my be so they call IMF of which Ghana is part as you see ayeko but as Saturday near kana kama juma and posterity so no tembia eje chintina no pay bisa say road to IMF what has changed this because previously Babontima nipa bebre MPs ministers bebre ebe kasa about previous administration no and I said be kasa about Ghana going to IMF say no Ghana ekoya be lanche Ghana beyond aid I just say you will be bia to say the finance minister can and say yeah what the resources yes I what the capacity to make sure say we build this country so there's no need for Ghana to go to IMF so the question ana ye bisa say the capacity na can for yata can want them and the resources na ye can want them say ye woni na nti ni kan say call IMF no sa resources ne sa capacity ni na no e wo henfa under this particular administration but before say ye be call ensem ne so no producer ye ni kan hwe Bishop Charles Ajin Asare yeni kan enhwe ne video ne ntie ne nsem bia okan about the economy and sa na bia yakọ videos no so
I was talking to some prayer warriors, and they told me that what they've started doing is that they've started praying that in Ghana, the judge, the great judge himself, will judge because they don't have confidence in a lot of our laws. And so they are praying, and I told them, I agree with you, I'll be praying with you. I'll join my faith with your faith. In Job chapter 20 verse 15, the Bible says, he has swallowed down riches. He shall vomit them up again. God shall cast them out of his belly. So anyone in this nation who has swallowed down riches, God will cause them to vomit it. From every level. Amen. For judges who take money to give bad judgment, they will vomit it. For journalists who take money to do wrong stories, they will vomit it. Soldiers and policemen who violently take what belongs to other people, they will vomit it. Chiefs who sell a piece of land to multiple people by crisis and circumstances, they will vomit it. Pastors that take money that the church did not pay them, they will vomit it. Those who intentionally prevent others from their daily bread because of either politics or they are in power or because they have been promoted and deprive legitimate people of what belongs to them, they will vomit it. Doctors who take money and don't deliver proper care will vomit it. Lawyers who take advantage of their clients will also vomit it. GRA, Ghana Revenue Authority, those who intentionally slap taxes to get people out of business, those people will vomit it, and God will protect the innocent people. You see, our Public Procurement Act, Section 92, 2016, and Section 124 of the Criminal Offences Act, 2003, says, amongst other things, that when a government official or public figure steals during procurement, he gets fined 3,000 to 5,000 cedis or 2 to 3 years in prison. But the ordinary, irrespective of the quantum of money he stole. But if the ordinary citizen who does a similar, thing, the ordinary storekeeper, the ordinary somebody, when he does a similar thing, he gets fined 24,000 cedis or he's in prison 5 to 10 years. This law shows you that the rich get away and the poor always suffer. But you see, that is why we are appealing to the higher judge. So that this law, it doesn't favor the ordinary man. It favors the, amen, they will vomit it. So public officers and anyone who goes into public office, including politics, and in 4 years gets more than a house and a good car, because he stole or inflated prices or inflated a contract, he will vomit it. Ordinary people who work for others in this nation and steal from them, they will also vomit it. You see, when we talk about the vomiting, it says, and God will cause them to vomit it. It's serious. When God is causing you to vomit, you may get strange sicknesses and diseases, mental problems for your children. Your children will be taken advantage of. The sickness that kills ordinary people, the sickness that doesn't kill ordinary people will kill you, and all kinds of things. Because the money that was supposed to be used for a road, a hospital, you have chopped it. The money that was supposed to belong to somebody, you are, God will cause you to vomit it. In Jesus' name. Your descendants will have strange occurrences in health and in the things they do. Because you can go into politics.
All right.
Or you can be a public.
So they will vomit it. A lawyer for, a judge for, or moja demudie, enfendi assembly, they will vomit it. A man penny for so a deal or mine seeker one way or the other, they will vomit it. And central for a jiska, yen can occur, we will also vomit it. A software and can occur, they will vomit it. Police in so on to jina kwa wa jiska on can occur. Or no so be vomit obi owo man mu bia one way or the other na djuma awoye na niema awoye nyina ma o man mfa na ntuma pa emfamfira no the person will vomit it. As the same Bible na ye tam na ye de soe ye fa na ye di gina so dinsie e kantam se ye be boa ma o man atumpon. The same Bible na e kan ho asem say you people are going to vomit it. There is one article we are quoting here concerning Procurement Act and a Criminal Act. Say obi wa bemu na ono no de odisika and as any form of procurement be a corruption beba ho bia no, regardless of the amount, nipa no will pay 3,000 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. These are some of the things that a man penifo be the power, because so obedi 1 billion Ghana cedis. Now I could share 3,000, 5,000 Ghana cedis are obedi. But if you're a civilian, if you're a voter like me, the number of years you go to prison and the amount of money you are going to pay. We put all these things into consideration. And as a frontier no power. Now, yet here, and you see our Council of State, our muntu or mampayinfo. It is a futu bone na Council of State edi two mampanyin ene ne nkofo no, they will vomit it. Yet here ye wo Christian Council omo dwuma bone a omo ye, they will vomit it. So these two entities, Omampanyin beye bibia betu anamon bia per what the constitution says. A council of state any two omampanyin fu nti omampanyin niam a woye ni nyina ye pe council of state any two no for bonesa they will vomit it. Whatever they are swallowing, they are going to vomit them out. Proud to elections 2016. We are not speaking for any political party. We are speaking sense so that the country will develop. Or mind be fan into my party is quite unfortunate. The other can be a bit favor be in favor be. In favor are fine. If favor are fine. At the end of the day, it has to do with the nation developing. Now, we had people and say going to IMF was this, going to IMF was that, and there was no need for us to go to IMF. But these are the very same people that they are going to IMF. Producer Yentie de Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, or say or regarding Samira regarding as economic wizard. Or no muno or say onim say the interview. Onim say ye can economy or tiase pa. Ye ni kan tie de no ote ho no. Ansa na ewia ya kwa kotie interview no. They no gina ho na or kasa about these things. Ye wia ya kotie de na ote ho na ye ni interview no. Ye nfa say video ni bra.
That you have to ask is if how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How does it happen? The question that you have to ask is how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How does it happen? The question that you
Enti ade a esi wo wiase nyina crisis a esi wo wiase nyina ho kire ne amane a wo wiase nyina ba omiase adenti ena ebetra Cote d'Ivoire ebetra any other country na Ghana nko ana eba. It simply means that ba omia person che say economic crisis ba, and he said this before NPP ebeba power. It was the previous administration NDC era and o kan same way. So crisis beba ba omia person che say nkebe hiti o man bia enya Cote d'Ivoire entra Cote d'Ivoire entra Togo and enter any other country na Ghana nko. It no person say apart from the crisis I cause na these countries na adenti na omo de omo ho nkyere omo na Ghana nko na the then NDC administration claim say Ghana ho akere no. Now enyansafo question enyansafo ntie na no pay. Now bibi e wo kromo bia na ye blame no on Russia Ukraine war, ye blame no on COVID na. The same IMF Emma Ghana $1 billion post COVID after a lockdown and IMF my $1 billion say young fan share economy ni mna mwaye sa around that time now man panyi to enkofo gu monten so volunteers say omunkoye adwuma contact tracers obi a wanya COVID omu hwehwehwem na oka say obema obi a 10,000 Ghana cedis each, that is 100 million be sin there sa enkofo ni na ban for music ama omo, but IMF na ye ko ne no my $1 billion say emfa mo man no ban. Now where is that $1 billion? Now we are going back to IMF. It will be say sa sikano na me say bisa say enti that time na ba omi ka sa asem no. Now enti COVID ba ye aheti o man bia enti Russia Ukraine war enya o man bia aheti no say o man Ghana asema bibisa no. But before 2016 elections say problems crisis ebe we are seeing atra Cote d'Ivoire atra Togo atra krobia enya krobia ahete se Ghana. Now COVID ba ye mi bisa say enti COVID no ahete Cote d'Ivoire ahete Kenya ahete South Africa ahete Tunisia ahete Ukraine bi ahete Russia bi o my Ghana nko a na COVID ebe hiti ya didn't na hiti obi a yenko na be hiti yen e na yenko a na ye de COVID yi ye ho ano ye de 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 ye ho ano saa yenko na COVID hiti ye na eno na mi bisa COVID ejai Togo COVID ejai Cote d'Ivoire COVID ejai Kenya COVID ejai country bia na yenko na hiti ye na. That is the same question I'm asking enyansafo ntie enti si ati kromo a Now these are how I near my best happen. When you say it, near the associated to a certain political party. Now, another standby video, where the same Baumia being interviewed, and I say in an interview, or Kasa for the economy, how official or minor air bobosia, any quasi bobosia, how official. A mini or minor, how our say ye overspend or minor esika, how our say the appropriate and I said the name of necessary was or minor dear sika yen for any that was prior to election before NPP Babeba power. Baumia who say ye the way I buy spending or necessary who need for so. Baumia who say or I buy no air bubbles here too much. Baumia who say a mini or minor, Baumia who say and you never be a buy no air no enye. Now Moses, drop us our video no.
I wouldn't say I'm not enthused about the fact that we had to get here to get to a bailout situation. But I think the deal itself, it's a deal that tries to sanitize the finances of the country, because you got to a situation where the center could not hold and things were falling apart, and the government had borrowed itself into a situation where it was no longer really being able to pay its bills, and the balance of payments were in real jeopardy. And so they needed a bailout, and the bailout essentially entails fiscal consolidation so that the debt of Ghana can be more sustainable. And in that regard, you're going to go through the normal, tighten your belt, cut expenditure, increase taxes. They also want to reduce subsidies, which basically tries to get the fiscal in place. The bailout also entails cutting down your borrowing. The government is borrowing a lot as far as the IMF is concerned, and government needs to cut down its borrowing. The central bank is also coming in for some reform. The lending to government by the central bank is also going to be curtailed quite drastically. The exchange rate side, in terms of the reforms of the foreign exchange market, such that the central bank is not going to be in a position to manipulate the exchange rate as we saw in 2014 with this disconnect between the Bank of Ghana rate and the market rate. There are reforms which will entail some of that. And also in the foreign exchange market, there are reforms that will mean that gold exporters, for example, no longer would have to hand over their foreign exchange to the Bank of Ghana. But all in all, the whole idea is to bring back discipline, restore macroeconomic stability. I think that is the goal of the IMF deal.
So, and also, and Sama, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, the Vice President of the Republic of the country, Ghana, or no, the economist, the economic wizard. Those are the things he said. Now, Kendo for real times also a finance minister, or also Kasafa going to IMF. Producer, you have a video. No?
Let's say there are two, we are members of the fund, is that correct? There are two major points of intervention that we have from the fund. One being the advice that we get because of the phenomenal expertise that the fund has, and then secondly these program interventions which bring us some resources. I think if you see from the budget that we constructed for 2022 and the subsequent announcements that we have done, clearly the issue of Ghana having the capacity to think through the consolidation exercises and also discipline itself with regards to the 20-30% cuts, etc., that we have shown, clearly a direction that I guess even in a sense the fund may be hesitant to push any further with regards to that. So clearly, with regards to sort of philosophical alignment about realizing that we needed this type of consolidation, we have done that. Then we get to the issue of our debt level for the financing, which dovetails into the World Bank's, Nancy talked about the World Bank's advice on the creditor committee. And the question then becomes whether the fund would have the type of resources that will require to really inoculate a program for the debt. And that is a question that is hanging, whether they can. But we have committed, as you know, to not going back to the fund because in terms of intervention with policy, we are right there, and the fund notes that we are completely in the right direction. And so the issue is validating the program that we have put in place, and then, in my view, supporting us to find alternative ways of financing or refinancing our debt.
So, Ghana web for this wonderful video. Or say, where before say Omampenyi bema Kenuforiata instruction and also Omampenyi be question Kenuforiata say on write it to IMF. Ni enkope skaka enkope bosia. So before going to IMF, this is what he said. Was it they have the right interventions, they have the right policies. So there's no need for the NPP government to go to IMF. Was it the NPP government is on the right path, so there's no need for them to go to the IMF. So, okay, what they are in government do? So now, the question is, some interventions now also more until there was no need NPP be call IMF. No, some interventions now were here. You may say nyansa phone come on, nyansa phone come on pay you. Some policies now can for you to say omuwo, and I say until there was no need for Ghana to go to the IMF. No, some policies now were here. Now at the end, we are going to the IMF. So according to him. But what he said, Obi Obeko IMF BR, it is because there are no proper interventions and there are no proper policies. That is, according to him, what will make you go to IMF. So if indeed, these are the interventions, these are the policies, and they have all the interventions, they have all the policies, they will not go to IMF. And they are going to IMF today. Clearly, Kama has spoken. It means that they don't have the interventions and they don't have the policies. Because he said if you have the interventions and you have the policies, you won't go to IMF. So the NPP administration will never go to IMF. Emma John Kuma second day say yes, of course, neither today nor tomorrow they are not going to IMF. So if today are they change and the NPP government is going to IMF, does it mean they have no intervention, they have no policies? I can just do videos near DC and to say young Kasa baby, you be the answer phone come on Ghana for Ankasa Ajeje. Now, Kwesi Dr. Kwesi and also your NPP, Ashanti Regional Communicator. Or say, Obi Obeka say yanko IMF bia ye kwasia. Obi Obeka say yanko IMF bia abodam. Producer yentie no.
Papa abani peso ye man. 11 no ayadebia eba be boy. There's no doubt about that. So because you say 11 ye yanko IMF wa bodam. Hey, na me kan ye. Na dwene ni ho. Me ka se mu pempe. Ana de nye pemfa. Na dwene ni ho. O se obi obeka se 11 nye papa no. Yanko IMF no. Na wa bodam. I'm telling you, the person is mad. Only say 2 hash. Anya hash. Pempe yes ni pay. Ghana ya ko IMF 17 times. Okay,
producer Yamin Shirao. Entity ni o se wo kan wasi su bi ma si ni pay. O kan ni se de sitie. Obi obeka se yanko IMF. Bia o ye kwase wa bodam. Now the question is, enti Dr. Kwesi Cheya oye ho Ashanti Region NPP communicator. Opeso che say. And asema bibisa no pay ni say. NPP administration being led by Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Ken Ofori-Atta, and then John Kumano. Oma bodamana. anasa omo ye kwasiafo ana because say wo beka say yenko IMF awa boda mo ye kwasia, you are foolish, you are mad. So does it mean say now that NPP is going to IMF kwasia we are foolish there, then indeed they are foolish because they are going to IMF? It is clear. Yen kan say the ono kan no say the assembly city was want to say when you be free. Yen kan say the city. So you see how at times who can assembly and you are not very careful. It will be here there now want to ask say aden. If a bro want to say, so give the person the benefit of the doubt. And yes sir, previous administration echo IMF. Now Dr. Kwesi say who beka say enko IMF wa bodam who ka say enko IMF we are foolish. Now na buying and Ghana buying echo IMF. Does it mean people in government, people going to IMF, they are foolish, they are mad? That is the question I'm asking. Per what Dr. Kwesi said. So I know based on all this, Mibisa going to IMF. What has changed? A day na assessor, a previous administration echo IMF near Kanwasem, and a day na assessor this administration as echo IMF after some more criticizing the previous administration. Young Kasa Famubia, Kasa the amount mine. Yeah, kasa di amo mine to afan to my party because o mine koso amekoso o mine koso a wa utifie na utie me na ufri say e ya manyo se me politics no so be koso eniema boyefo a obetobi me susu metobi enti yemfa sa manyo se me nto nchen ni enyi questions na no yema ya adwen emuyefo. If indeed say somebody like Dr. Kwesi, somebody like Kenoforiata cried 2015 now very energetic within the space of 7 years. I said, why a whole change person be? So already Dr. Kwesi Eka, already Baumia Eka, already John Kuma Eka, already Afenyo Markins Eka, already all these people are saying. That is why Boachi Dankwa Eba Bontia Obeka say, okay, so that's no Kwesi the twitch in that's on way or you NPP communication director was Ashanti region producer and Michelle. All this nana kekabom anything abuachi dankwa. Special advisor or government spokesperson our governance and security say. Ye won kofuo bi wa oman ni mu a ye won kofuo bi wa aban mu a omudi oman ni sika. And those are the people we have to hunt. Now when na nchen I compare Honorable Canadian Japan on any video near the chat. On also back finally, or see and Twabaman no mayor or man. Anybody can become president, no doubt. Ghana for her now a competent some ideologies, papa, Ghana for the Twabama. So Honorable Canadian Japan going to declare an intention to become the president. Yes, of course, who worth it? No problem about it. By NTA Asama Bosha Oshishaye.
2024, I'm contesting. And I tell you two things. I will never receive salary.
As a president.
Car, a dimechi. Anaka mi team echo in Amiama Tomadi. Mpe aban bibia. Biwienzu a memi cars am dia bahono. Me kwa me check government. Na se mi meni. Now minister abedia. You see what I will fire you. Because we have to build this nation and Ghana first. 2024, I'm contesting. And I tell you two things. I will never receive salary.
As a president.
Or say, obey or man penina. Tinio and Safonti Assembly. Obey or man penina. 2024, Ghana for two Abamana, or Pesa Ghana for two Abamana. Aketua di aketua as omampanyi onje obeboa ma omane develop wa wo beye boni bia wo so ochewa obechewo opani nyina ne say emra ani ubedi. But Water Compare Kennedy said, I have so much respect for this man, but he speak it to power as far as management and growth of economy are concerned. So in Sama Oka mi bisao Honorable Kennedy Japan Obeyo man panyin a oso onya akatua se sie a oye MP no oje akatua na ase onye boso meso a krom na waje tie ni oyansafo nti o anfo ene tie ne nto aso na kwatere kwanso so obema wontoma na watie ni din de wo ye ne ene a predictive future ɛna deɛ ehu wɔ ho no ɛna ɛkyɛ sɛ ampa betuma ma obi bi ɛkɔm de wɛ de na aso betuma ahwɛ obi uni sika wa mu ho atete wonhyɛ atade de na ade atade be hyɛ obi now akompre akɔ Canada Japan mi bisa no pɛ sɛ as MP wɔgye akatua na ane ɔgye enti ɛyɛ de enti na ɔsɔ bɛyɛ ɔmampanyin a wɔnya akatua ankahyɛhyɛ sisi a edu bɛgye wa atrema kasa dodo nso ɛmfa fema kahyɛ sisi a anka wo salaries a wɔgye as an MP cancel ni nyina wo contract a wo hwɛ a ɛnhyɛ dan koye ne appointment nneɛma bi a wo hwɛ man koye bia cancel ni nyina but oje salary ne as a minister as an MP but wo say wo be president a onya akatua starting ne question e tosu mienu a mebisa no say honorable Canada Japan MPs V8 no wontwi bia na otwi oto petrol na wonto but o say obeye o mampanyin a V8 o de bebe nyina be ye ne cars na say ni say but wo meye o mampanyin no V8 no wagye asase etwi enti nka wan sisi e no na nka wa declare intention na ma Ghana phone sisi na abaye no wakatua nka na wagya ide ba wo da so gye V8 no apake na oyisu wo car na nka ehu se ampa de wo kan you mean it but wo gye akatua e da so yisu aban V8 eje petrol incentives na wo da so gye de eto so biem ne mpasua so ho no mo no development no akwakodum pempenso sen e na oba be develop oman Ghana yen compare obi be kan compare and contrast the toso for make a chat wo na de aba wie ne say ono ani nkofo ono omu ye adwuma no emu sen na afoma wotumi fire omo na wo say oba aban mu be president a omanfo e be ye kata ahyehye na o me oman ni nkoye nyina no obe mekisi o say emra ne ombedi anase obechi omo anase bia obeyi omo afiri ho. So these are the four things also be oman panyin a onya akatua now oye MP onya akatua na oje wose wono ade ne cars ne beba aba mu yusu aban cars now V8 ontwi ana otwi etin ko nsase ni nyina ene na nka aban nkofo mu ye corruption ana say de wonim because Canada Japan MPP administration wodi titima wo mpapa wonim de ekoso nyina enkofo office ne man koye no ko nhyase mabubo mudin no onhyase ne salary no onya agye na ka V8 no mpaka nsi wo ne ehu sa afedie wo kon no ba wo enjoy we nyina no abeka che say ye nto abama ne be yo mampanyi asa because Ghana fo agiminti ebusu ani e de besie medin de ano Clement the youth advocate. Truth will always defeat lies. Nyame so etu obi aka said na adwuma esi etie anapemeda production queue na ase na before no wa wo fia wo hwe ye money show monitor ye wo send a message wo so a wo frɛ ye wa like ye social media handles ni na America ka say Facebook no at Active TV Ghana wo kwa bon say ye logo ne boho logo red and white na ebo TV no so no esoro no ebo ho kama ni red and white and ebo ho like page ne follow YouTube nso so Active TV GH ni na no boom subscribe na adoma na da on miaso na fa to all umiaso a dialogue we be aba fa to all o de to all ni wi a share ko groups a wo do nyina mu na eni nyasafo nkomo sanse na de bo mo man no etumi afa ne ntoma pa de afra too sweet the descendant of King Solomon Moses Dawuso na mi shao when I share enlightening ehwe MC a nyina ma ye o manage course no clip also manage social media handles tan so na wisdom ne o mo maka nyina no etumi bo ade bia na me refugee o they be ask for me Samen so to me boa with the floor and all that Johnson John Laporta and the sports update by ejenim ajeyi boaten so de adwa e the beautiful lady long time ami abna fabia and the entertainment update to me bro make I was say Active Media and Active Brains Consultancy Services sa training program 6 months training program for broadcasters, news anchors and reporters, writers, camera handlers, editors, graphic designers, MCR for and lighters and even makeup for and a school no air commence and a training air commence sorry the training is here and two now for our forms are by the premises of Active TV never for our registration forms 50 Ghana cedis training as here. What you say? Numbers in a good school is in a movie. I'll be fair, I'll be to me afraid. Ofra and penny for and over to come now. So to me about school fees near Tim say 2 Utiaka before the entire 6 months. And a purely training, purely practical. Yeah, me tell what is a council. Now, you are near Jao Marco Bontain. Now, what is a council? No one describe what is a council. To say the Ghana doctors and politicians it will define what is economy, but they can actually come to the grounds and do what it is. Nti ebechiro ni nyina mo adwuma bia ye practicals na ye de ba be ma wo ompeni say na open say ma me ka my active my area e da so hodi eye dwuma dia problem bia wo area ho bia say ye nsuo eye kanea eye kwan eye bola eye gata problem bia wo area ho bia me say odi eye phone ni say ma me so wo ye phone ni say ya na wo dey twa pictures kakra wo dey twa videos kakra an say utwa kakra now they are sending a number send that screen so mu bia e wo WhatsApp ni na so e wo Telegram video bia be twa ne pictures bia fa send sa number no empo say we wi a na problem fa nipa bi hu ene eye emoa no hia ni na so number na da o fry be fa o WhatsApp e be chat o Telegram e be chat o send text message so e be chat e bia ye na o be twetwe nkomo nti no afa ene ye donations nyambo a next Christmas ebe ye koye massive donations by a medical ye ba kwansa na Christmas de na ba enti me show o say by August September ye next donation enti eno so say ye sika say ye ntade say ye mpaboa say ye matwe say ye aduane bibia wo bia wo pese wo de ye adoye bra number na egu screen so manu si ya frɛ at any point in time wo de onyanye oniema no de boaboa no gu oboaboa no ye ananso ya no atumi afrɛ ne aba abeje and I say see akra no frɛ betumi aba abeje ne de agu edu tam ekoya do ya na ne de ko my active my area ye report to problems na the appropriate quarters no na ye san so ya do ye se de be ya inshira wiade yankopon ahyehye e de ama omamu no obi anso nsa ebetumi aka bi umpeni say na open say we NGO ankra bi na okon back on donation bi ani na no frɛ my active my area numbers na ye no be ka bom o ye bank obi a akoye donation bi a ofre ya ye no be ka bom ne akoye sa donation no na etumi nso so ayefe na bibia etumi aye kama Apostle General Chairman 1 ye to so ana ya sorry during day na no na akra ye chia no atene kakra ye beduru achecheje de boko ne beko na enso onim say onka kwantimfi we surely see the light one day and it will make sense the be ada koso ana cry say the city no ye befom but we den ya bibia betumi aye fine kakra na ye be duru na bibia nso etumi akoyi e de amaye the Apostle General Chama wa nyame sha Mama Evelyn Pure City International School fo nyina Auntie Evelyn Madam Evelyn Mr. Boatin Nuru mu nyina na no pay ye chiamo ekwan ehwonko so happy birthday to Richmond of Richmond Ventures just opposite Active TV Kobro anope do birthday and of course all bills on you so one kasa unim dada anope wi enumre ni na na ejai e the amount. My name is Ano Clement, the youth advocate. Truth will always defeat lies. We are Ghana ni no adwuma awo ye wana mo awutuo. Ubi bia wo ye bia emmoa ema oman no enkoso a nyame ntua oka. We are Ghana ni no adwuma awo ye wana mo awutuo. Wadwene ususuye eboa ama oman na koso a nyame ntua oka. Nyame ntua obi aka se de na adwuma sitie.
So devotion, let